Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and like I said, once again we're getting back into the groove of doing non-movie figures and regular generation figures. And to start things off, we're going to take a look at Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Decepticon Soldier. Now this is a retool of Barricade. I gotta say, I'm very surprised by this figure. I I thought it was going to be like a new head, one or two different parts, but whatever they did um, to change this figure, and we'll do a comparison, it's a lot better than what Barricade was. In fact, I'd like to see this figure with Barricade's head done as another Barricade. It's just crazy. I mean, there's actually a lot going on here, and it's kind of cool. Now, I got this figure from Hasbro Pulse. It's still available there. Pre-orders should start shipping sometime next month or the end of this month. You can never be too certain from places like Amazon and maybe Big Bad Toy Store. But yeah, let's get this into the booth and take a look at the figure. Okay, now normally we would start off in vehicle mode, but there's a lot going on here in robot mode that I kind of just felt I wanted to start here. Now, first of all, let me just quickly go over that there is some pre-transforming you have to do when you get the figure out of the packaging. Basically, it's like Barricade. You got to flip the feet down, separate the legs, and then this panel is rotated up like this. Now, also, I had the problem where this back section um, came off the hinge right there. So I had to reattach that, but I think that was just how it was packaged with the plastic ties. That is something to note that this figure, instead of using paper ties, is using plastic ties, but it still has the open front window. Other than that, the blaster here is the same on the back. Uh, but before we get into that, um, there's actually two different transformations for the leg here. Now, as you can see, this is how the figure comes out of the packaging, with the wheels facing forward. You can detach that hinge right there, rotate this around, bring it back in, and this will give you a slightly different look uh, for robot mode. Now that's really kind of cool. That allows you, if you're going to troop build, you can have a little bit of variety with your figures. Now, for the sake of the review, I'm going to leave it like this, just because that's how it is for vehicle mode. The other thing that they did, well, you know what? I'm not going to get into that just yet. One thing I do want to do now is just very quickly switch out the gun arm. Uh, Works the same way. Now, what's kind of funny is they show the gun arm with these two sections facing up. On Barricade, these were facing down. And I think, if I remember correctly, there was some discussion as people were trying to remember which way is which. So you do have that. And I think at this point, I want to bring Barricade in because this is where a lot of the changes can start. We can start taking a look at. And the first thing I want to look at is the back of the figure and how you can store the arm. First of all, the forearms are entirely new tooling. That you can see. And there's a smaller tab here, and that fits in quite nicely. Now, as you can see, that whole back section is all new tooling as well with that panel. And if you notice, I should probably pull this off, the tab on Barricade's arm is much larger. Um, that actually ended up being causing a little bit of a friction of a stability pressure issue that sometimes it wouldn't want to stay in. So there's that. And also, while we're here, I want to make note of the rear section of the vehicle mode because I want to draw attention to that panel I had mentioned previously. New tooling and as well as new feet um, kind of leads to the fact that this panel can now work as heels, whereas on Barricade, that really didn't work. Now, Barricade had much larger feet, but as you can see, they're a little bit loose and the figure tends to lean forward. I remember Barricade being a lot more fiddlier than this guy is, and that's really incredible. But so that, and I really do appreciate the use of the heels there. That's just awesome. Um, really does make a difference there. You know, these pagan. Now they do tab in to the inside of the leg, but it's a very soft tab. Really doesn't hold. So there's that. Let me just bend the knees a little because it was kind of doing that whole heroic anime pose thing. And I'm just trying to get this to look a little more natural. And yes, Barricade just fell over. That, of course, if we as we remember, is a regular issue with the figure. Um, but bringing it around the front, obviously it's a new head, uh, new chest, um, but the shoulders, the wheels, that's all new. We talked about the forearms, um, the legs, the thigh, the shins, that's all new. The placement of the wheels. I think, yeah, this is supposed to peg in up here, so, and different wheel coverings. So really, and you can even tell from the back that whole front section completely different. So in many ways, I really feel this is a much better figure than uh, what we had. I remember Barricade being a little more, and you can see here with the weapon, the arm falling off. To be fair, the instructions don't show storing the arm there, but I mean, if the shoe fits, um, the hands being on the forearm being covered, here they're not. So really, you have a lot going on, and the head there is a little tight. So, but yeah, just overall a much better figure, and a lot of new tooling. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that the transformation is basically the same, I would have figured this was an entirely new figure. So to get into the transformation, if you haven't already, bring the legs back down to their uh, this position, well, the wheels in this position. Obviously, go ahead and reattach the weapon, the arm. Um, don't store the weapon in put the weapon back there. It's going to go in a different location. And you might as well, while you're here, just go ahead and fold in the hand, just like that. By the way, you don't have to fold the hand in for storage. I choose to do that. Let me give you a quick look at that head. That's a nice head. So really the first steps are fold the feet up, and then we're going to join the legs together, just like so. Make sure you have everything lined up. Uh, yeah, this is why this is being digitally. Oh, there we go. All right, just I wasn't paying attention. Uh, and of course, these will kind of peg together, so that'll stay right there for the time being. And then the sides of the wheels will actually peg in. That's something we can deal with a little later on. Uh, rotate around at the waist. At this point, you can go ahead and bring this panel up, and that will peg down into place. You might separate the legs like I just did. They don't they peg tightly, but not too tightly. Also, unlike what they show on the packaging and on the instructions, there is going to be a little bit of a detail where this section of the panel is going to sit a little higher. Let's see if I can move the arm out of the way. You can see that there is a little bit of a there is plastic there from the wheel well that just you can't push this down further. It's a design thing. It looks nice. That's just how it is. And again, gives you a little bit of a difference than from Barricade. Now with the arms here, what the instructions don't show is that they're on a double hinge that you want to bring them down, and then it's best seen from this way. There's a slot here on the hip that will tab into the forearm. That's the actual same tab that we use to secure the weapon here, the arm here on the back, and that little like almost like a mushroom tab right there. So that will the arm will secure in two places, and just get them in. Give it a little pushies. Oop, let me just get that in. Get that up in. Um, so this is how it will look from the front. Might have to give it a little bit of a transformer squeeze just to get stuff to stay lined up. And then finally, what you want to do is open up this back panel here, fold it out. Hmm. Oh yeah, kind of. There's like a tab and a slot that'll snap into place, and then it'll come over the head like this. And then what you want to do is just massage it in so it goes under that panel there, and then give it little pushies, and there you go. You got the vehicle mode. Um, the tab is still available if you want to store the weapon back there. You can. Let me see. Actually, yeah, if you're going to store it this way so it doesn't hit the ground. But there's a big block up here that's so it's in assault mode. Oh, make sure that's. You know what? There's like little tabs here on the forearm that go into that shoulder section. So just make sure that's lined up too. But there you go. That's the vehicle mode. And I gotta say, it was a much more pleasant transformation than I remember with Barricade. And it just, yeah, it looks nice. Now I'm not. I mean, the colors are the colors. I mean, it's metallic green and a like a slate gray. I mean, I'm not a fan. I get a little bit of the Energon purple there. Um, in fact, that's one of the few things I think that carries over from Barricade is that shade of purple. But I mean, if they do this in like blue and black or a gunmetal gray, I think I'd be all over it myself. I'll be very honest with you. Um, but yeah, so you know what? Let's quickly go back to robot mode. So I can end the review. But remove the gun, however you have it stored. Free up this back panel here, and oh god, there we go. Oh, I guess you can. Might as well bring this panel down. I mean, there's that. Bring this back. Bring it down. Collapse it inward. There's a tab right there that will go into that rectangular post. Separate the arms. Bring them up. Remember, it's a double hinge. I guess with the drones, they want to keep the transformation simple. That could be a thing there. Rotate it around here at the waist. Separate. Bring the feet down. They'll lock into place. And you know what? Let's have some fun. Go ahead. Rotate the wheels around. You know what? I think there's like a little. Oh yeah, there's like some nubbins in here. There's a tab there that will bring them around like that, so they're a little more flush. Uh, that's pegged in. Then just open up the hands here, and you know what? We're just going to go. Let's attach the gun arm. So leave that in if you want to, and boom, there we go, back in robot mode. Um, yeah, this guy is awesome. I don't know. I remember a lot of people complaining about Barricade. I remember I wasn't that big of a fan of Barricade. Uh, whatever they did here, and I'll be honest, I don't know. I really can't say, but whatever they did, really makes the figure that more enjoyable. Now, I can't tell you if I've heard rumors about another repaint of this in some different colors. I do know that the rumor was from the Devastation game, we're getting troop builders, and that'll use the run amok runabout mold. But like I said, if they do like one other color release, and if it's a color I like, yeah, I'm probably going to be all over that. Uh, I mean, I was going to pass on this, but something just, I don't know, grabbed me and said, yeah, give it a shot. But this is really fun. I mean, it just works so much better than Barricade did. So, like I said, I got this from Hasbro Pulse. Pre-orders should start shipping sooner than later from other retailers. I almost forgot to mention, I do believe it's showing up in stores in Target, so you might be able to grab it there. But yeah, this is a brilliant piece, and really, if you passed on Barricade, pick this guy up because pretty much every issue I had with Barricade, this negates and fixes. So there's that. And one other little negative, um, some of the plastic feels thin, but that could just be me. I'm not afraid of any of this breaking. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, this is cool. I don't want to ramble. If you dig it, pick it up. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I always appreciate the views. The likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. You guys know the spiel. But I also want to stress that if you can't swing the dollar a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. And I also want to mention that for those of you who might have joined up for the Transformers 1 and Earthspark reviews, stick around. Uh, I do cover the Generations line and other transforming toy lines when I get a chance. You might discover something you enjoy, and I hope that you do, because movie cycles, cartoon cycles, those are really like one and done type of deals that only come around every couple of years. But these guys are here all the time, and if you don't subscribe, you might miss out on something fun. Between 81 to 83% of you aren't subscribed, and that does affect the algorithm. But that's about it. Once again, this is your old pal Chuck for the Deluxe Class War for Cybertron Decepticon Soldier. We will see you next time.